being a female, times are changing. You know, this is what people want to see. So out there, the female artists are out there. Why aren't you showcasing them? Why aren't you publishing them? Do you know what I mean? And it's like, it's not like their music is bad. It's just, I feel like, you know, they're kind of getting sidelined a little bit.
The reaction when I first started doing music, it was obviously a bit like, whoa.
Let's start in the city, and I got the real small titties with a blicky. Ayy, the game up, no quickie. Give me my peso, give me my Lizzie. Ayy, gon' start till I finish. Stay in your bag, stay in your...
At first, it was very negative. Like 2018, when I was really new, most people, I feel like that's with everyone when you're starting something new. People are like, oh, whatever, like, that's not gonna happen, give it up. But 4 years later, it's way different. Like, I feel like now people are starting to believe me more. And as time goes on and as I release more music, I feel like I'm gaining more support, a bigger fan base and all of that.
What influenced me to do music was COVID.
Do my VM, me, not them, BINO, my blog. Do my VM, everything 10-10, right down to the whip, my sauce. So we run this thing from east to south to west.
I think it was the start of COVID, and obviously you couldn't do anything, you couldn't go anywhere. So I thought, okay, everyone's doing this Instagram challenge, let me jump on the challenge.
2020 really got me thinking, real life nightmare, don't know. Reminiscing 20 years ago, Rugrats was my favourite show, when humanity wasn't this low.
I posted it on Instagram, and the feedback I got was what pushed me to take it seriously, because people were like, yo, Fats, you're actually good. And I was thinking, yeah, right, but they were like, no, honestly, like, you're really good, you should take it seriously. And then from there, I just started doing like music videos, started writing more things. Obviously, when I first started, what I was writing was absolute nonsense. But I think as you go on and like as you meet different people, you just start to get better naturally. So yeah, I think it was like COVID that really started it for me. Like if it wasn't for COVID, I don't think I'd be doing music.
I think it's just like when I was a little girl, I used to just dance to like Beyonce, and I've always like imagined myself like performing in front of a big crowd.
Fair man wanna shoot their shot, but the only shot stays back is Hennessy. Pause. You don't do shootings, talk bare crud. You ain't worth my energy, huh? No, we ain't the same. I'm trying to headline shows like...
I used to put shoes on the floor, pretend there were people. So I think one day, obviously, I was going through a situation where I was just a bit down. So I just started playing instrumentals. And then I started rapping, recording myself. And I was like, I sound kind of good. One day I woke up, I was a normal person. The next day I woke up famous. Then I have a song trending #4, The Situation. I was still sinking in. I think I sank it in a month later, like what was going on, because everything happened so quickly. Like the numbers were flying, labels were coming in. I was like, I'm not even a rapper though. Like growing up, I had never practiced rap. Like it just came randomly one day when I was down. So it's just a gift. I've been doing it for like probably like 2 years, and I'm very proud of myself because I'm really good at what I do, you know what I mean? But the situation really stamped a mark for the female scene, because no females were doing UK drill. Like that was a new thing, and for us to like pass 1 million to 2 million to 3 million was just so mad to see, because that's a lot of people. But the fact that we were influencing females to be more confident, we always spoke about female empowerment, independence, like you don't need a man. I feel like we paved the way for females to be more open with music. Like I think a couple of girls started jumping on the drill thing as well. I was thinking, okay, so we're trendsetters. So it was a nice feeling, and it was nice having a friend at the time to do it with.
I think the biggest difference between now and then is probably that people weren't so open to it before, you know, and even if they were open to it, it was just full of like criticism. A woman could, or a girl could do something maybe in the music industry and they'd be criticized for everything, the way she looks, the way she's rapping. And but I think maybe, I wouldn't even say 10 years ago, I'd say about maybe 4 or 5 years ago, you know, 2012, 2014, 15, people would just be like, nah, this is dead, without even listening to what the girl has to say, purely because she's female, you know, purely because she's a female in a male-dominated industry, they would automatically dismiss her.
If you're standing next to a male rapper, he might not even be half, he probably has no talent that you have, but people will easily accept him before you just because you have a vagina in between your legs. It's just, I don't see how that makes sense. Just because someone's a woman, what that means they don't have talent. Like, it just, people always overlook you when you're a woman and underestimate you, because rap is really, like, rap is a very male dominated industry, especially when you're younger. Like when I was 18, it was more like tricky, I think, because there's a lot of, unfortunately, like people in the music industry that like just want to take advantage of girls. So thank God I didn't go through anything super crazy, but there was some men and like producers and stuff I met that were a bit, you know, they're just trying to take advantage of you in a way. But I feel like also being a Somali girl makes it really hard for me as well, in the sense of just being like accepted and stuff like that. So I would say I always speak on this on social media as well, like the double standards for women is like really crazy.
You know, being a woman in the music industry is hard. Like, it's not easy. Like, I feel like we don't get the respects that we deserve. Like, for example, when I first came in the industry, people thought I had a writer. Like, they couldn't believe that a female wrote them bars.
Strong, black and independent, I know my worth and trust me, that's vital. I got 47 shots for an AK, I dare anyone come test this rifle. War is war, you can know the smackdown, taking the belts, I'm claiming the title. Sit on the bench, then let me attack, I'm man of the match and I swear on the Bible.
I'm thinking, I did A-level English, literature and language, that's where the bars come from. I'm just a natural barist, you know, God just blessed me with that gift. So yeah, I just think like women, you go through colorism, we go through sexism, like people just feel like they shouldn't give us a chance to go on certain platforms. We have to kind of win our way, drop consistently, have certain numbers. Like there's a lot of pressure to do well. Like if you got talent's not enough. Like it's not enough. You have to actually work on your market and having a good team, having a good manager to push you. Like people don't know the background of like what you have to do to actually get there. Also, someone that has a husky voice, you know, some people call it manly, I call it sexy. People used to talk about my voice a lot, saying, oh, it's like a man, and just getting these bad comments. But you know, I used it as a strength because I'm unique, no one sounds like me. So it's like, we're gonna try and pick your insecurities, but it's not insecurity, I think it's a strength. My voice is very unique and I don't think no female sounds like me. So it's all about having confidence, you know? You need to stamp your ground. Like me, I'm a drill artist, and it's like, that is a male-dominated like genre. So the fact that I came into it and I dominated it, got 1 million views plus when I first came out, is an achievement. So shout out to me.
Like I said, it's that box. It's that whole thing for me with the box. You know, if you're not super sexualized, then you're not relevant, which is really sad because, like I said, there are some hard female rappers out there who will rock what they want. You know, who will do that whole tomboyish swag, but you know they can still keep it. They can still keep it pretty. They can still keep it feminine. I do feel like there is a little bit of pressure to kind of be sexy. It's getting better, but I think we need to work on that as well. You know, you don't have to be sexy, guys. You can have a mohawk that's blue with like gold earrings. Do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter what you look like as long as what you're spitting is facts and it's true to you. Whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like, images is subjective. What looks good to you is not going to look good to someone else, but like I said, that whole sexy image thing, yeah, it's something we need to work on.
Obviously, everyone says sex sells, but you know, it's a bit difficult when you come from like a Christian background and then you're going to an industry where there's a lot of sin and it's like you have to kind of sometimes, you know, show cleavage or, you know, show a little bit of skin to get people excited. Like sex sells, it looks good, you know what I mean? And obviously, I don't really show my body much, but I know I got a good body. So if I have to show a little bit, then I'm going to show a little bit and sell myself properly. But I'm not going to over-sexualize myself. Like, that's not me.
I would describe my look as just cool. I'm just comfortable. Do you know what I mean? Like, I would never go out of my way to wear something that I'm not comfortable in. Because at the end of the day, I have to portray this image. People have to see and feel what I'm feeling. If I come here now and I'm wearing a bikini, not that there's anything wrong with a bikini, but I will be uncomfortable because I just feel like it's not me. Do you know what I mean? So I wear what I want, I wear what I'm comfortable in, and yeah, I just like to look good. I like to look cool. I hope I'm looking good.
Definitely take ownership of my sexuality. Like, and when I do that, I want other women, when they're listening to it, to feel the same way. Do you know what I mean? Like, when they're listening to my music is basically all about confidence and being braggadocious and feeling like you're that girl.
Don't let him and I don't let him kiss me. Come like a model, they calling me Twiggy, but still I can pistol whip you with the blicky.
If I own my sexuality, I want all my supporters and listeners to do the same. And I think that's something really important to me.
First time it ever trended, I was like, oh my gosh, my name is on trending. It was overwhelming. I didn't really know how to take to it because my phone started blowing up and it was like so much was going on at the same time. And I was just like, in a way, I feel like mentally I was kind of wary that I was going to be known. I just didn't know when it was going to happen. I didn't know when I turned 21 that was going to be the age that God thought, okay, it's time for you to blow. So obviously when I was in a duo, I was the darker one. And obviously people used to label me as the dark one, saying not nice stuff, like comparing me to darker animals and just saying bad things about my skin color, like, oh, she's too dark, or why did she stand in that light and stuff. But you know what, like when I was going through that, I didn't actually know that colorism exists. Like when people used to say colorism, I'm like, yeah, like, it's not real. Until you actually go through it and you're like, well, hey, this is mad. Like people actually don't like me because of my skin color, or don't want to take me in because I'm a darker shade. Obviously, yeah, I went through a lot of bullying, cyberbullying, but you know, again, when you're confident and you have the Lord, like, you're just gonna ignore them. Like, you can't allow people to get to you because no one's gonna, like, everyone's not gonna like you. So you have to just accept that.
It's funny because, like, if I drop a freestyle on Twitter, it's like, goes, like, everyone's talking about it. And it's like, people will, on social media, they'll think that sending me hate is gonna do something negative to me. But all it does is brings me a bigger fan base, more fans and more views, more streams. So I actually really like it. Like, they're basically my promo team for free. So yeah.
I think naturally we feel like we're competing. Like people always feel like there's just one crown. Like I don't feel like there's one crown. I feel like everyone's different and unique in their own way. If you're good at what you do, you're good at what you do. Like, for example, shout out to Shabo. She's so unique at what she does. Like, yeah, she calls herself the Queen of South because she is the Queen of the South. No one's doing it like her, do you know what I mean? But I feel like naturally, even when a female sees a female artist, it's like, oh, like already there's some sort of aura, like, what should I say, hi, what she's rude to me, like we think such negative things. And I just feel like if females just all came together and just spoke to each other, I feel like we can really make a change in the industry.
You see, one of my favourite female rappers, they basically shouted me out on social media, but we were already in talks for months, like, ready to sign me, wanted to FaceTime me all the time, talk to me or whatever. And she supported my music, but I feel like when she saw the Twitter hate that I got, it like made her not like me anymore. Like she was probably thinking, oh my God, she has so much hate. Why am I supporting her? Bye, kind of thing. And then obviously she found another female rapper that has a bigger following, bigger fan base, and now they're besties. So, and they obviously met each other through something unfortunate that happened to me, which I'm happy for them, but I think it's something that I'll never forget because it drives me and pushes me harder. Because if anyone was like co-signed by one of their favorite rappers ever, and then their favorite rapper just like unfollows them and like goes to find another girl, is anyone would feel hurt and upset, do you know what I mean? So it definitely did. I remember when it happened, I was very like low-key depressed, like, because I was already going through it them days. But as time went on, it just makes me go harder. But just always have thick skin, because I've noticed UK female rappers, they get a lot of hate for no reason. So if you get any insults, hate, whatever, just block it out and keep going, and don't quit is the main thing I would say. If it's genuinely your passion and you have a fan base, it could literally grow into something really big.
I just feel like females need to be more confident. There's so many sick rappers that I've heard that are not known, and I'm like, guys, all you need to do is just focus, be around the right people, and eventually like invest in yourself. You can get there. I feel like there's space for a lot of females, but the way the industry is, because there's so many males, they feel like they're not going to be like accepted. I feel like we need more people like me, like that have a platform to start talking about mental health, especially because mental health is something I didn't think was a thing as well. I just thought, mental health. Like, as soon as you hear mental health, you're thinking, I'm not mental. Like, what do you mean mental? But the more I started learning about it, like in uni, I studied it for youth and childhood development. I was like, a lot of people need to be more educated because a lot of people are going through things and people don't know. So I feel like more females need to like push certain topics. Like we've gone through a lot in my song For a Minute, my freestyle that I released in October last year. I speak about like abuse, the system. I speak about a lot of things that I feel like people need to start rapping about. So yeah, I feel like more females, if you're watching this, make sure that you have confidence in yourself, be confident in what you're saying. And if you want to tell a story, do it through rap.
Times are changing. You know, this is what people want to see. Back in the day, it probably would have been a little bit harder for me. But I think right now, people are just accepting and they're really supportive, to be honest. You know, I haven't had any negative experiences where people are like, oh, you know, you're a female, or comparing me, you know. So I think right now, so far, so good. You still have a few people who are kind of like, you know, female doing rap and stuff. But overall, I'm having really positive experiences. You know, people are supportive. When you post things, people are reposting it. People are talking about your music. People are learning it. So I think it's a good time for the UK. For females, I think it's a really good time. I think it's now or never, literally. So I thought, just do it.
Hey, Truce, I beg you spin
Who
that
says
back.
AB ain't ready? Strong, black and independent, I know my worth and trust me, that's vital.